How's it going, guys? Just here with the 2017 Husqvarna TE250. This is a pretty awesome bike. Good looking. They added a lot of new things in 2017. I think we're going to be really impressed with it, but let's find out.
Whew, that was fun. Fun. The suspension seems like it's going to be really good. I like it a lot so far. I think I need to play with the clickers a little bit, set the sag, and it'll be dialed. But yeah, it feels way better than the 4CS that the old KTMs had and Huskies. And I think this spring fork's a real big step for. All I know is riding this bike makes you feel like Graham Jarvis. Wow, love this place. Absolutely awesome. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty rad. Crap! Whoa! let me tell you something about this bike that's different than the other two-strokes I've rode. The vibration is amazing. You don't get vibration. That's why it's amazing.
Okay guys, right here we have the 2017 Husqvarna TE250. This is a rad bike. I just want to give you guys a little review on how I feel about the bike so far. I have 13 hours on it. Actually probably about 15 with a race on it as well. This is a sweet bike. I like it a lot. I came from 4-strokes. My experience, I just came off of a 2016 YZ450FX. I enjoyed that bike a lot. It was really nice. And this is a completely different platform, so it's super hard to compare the two, but the TE250, the main reason that I chose this bike was I wanted more of an Enduro type bike, and I would have went with the XCWs, I think that's what they are, 2-stroke KTM, but I love the Husky look, and the Huskies have the linkage suspension, which is really good for the type of racing and riding that I do. I prefer the linkage. So about the bike, let's get into it. The suspension is the Xplore forks that's new this year. Basically replaced the 4CS forks, and the other models got the air fork. This one's still spring fork, but really nice. I was pretty hesitant about getting the bike because of the suspension. It's a new, didn't have any reviews on it yet. I love it. The forks are really good. They're soft out of the box for most riding. I mean, if you're going to be going fast, racing pace, they're soft. For Enduro, when I'm messing around trying to climb up rad hills and stuff like that, it's perfect. So basically I've played with the clickers is all I've done, and in my eyes, suspension is good if you can give it a few clicks this way, give it a few clicks that way, and you can actually feel a difference. I had a 4CS forks back in the day, I think on a 2011 KTM or 14 KTM, and I would change the clickers a ton. You could give it 5-6 clicks and it wouldn't seem to change much. What I love about this, and the same thing that the Yamahas have as well, is that you can change this 3 or 4 clicks, even 2, and it feels completely different. So basically I've got my forks tuned to how I like it, where I can change it 2 clicks on the compression if I'm going a little slower, doing a little rougher riding, or I can change it back that 2 clicks if I'm doing faster riding. As far as the rear shock goes, it is the linkage, which I love, and I don't have any complaints with the rear shock. It's amazing in my eyes. Right at first I was getting a little bit of harshness and hard slams when I was going faster paces, but I just adjusted my high speed, and it's been really nice since then. I haven't had to play with that much because it just felt great. The only thing that I've added to this bike is the flex handlebars, which I would add to any bike. I always do. That's my first edition. And then the only other thing I added is a pipe guard, and then I actually just barely changed out the carburetor, but I won't review that. Let's get into the motor a little bit. I'm not a huge 2-stroke guy, but this thing rips. I came off of what I mean by I'm not a big 2-stroke guy is this is my first 2-stroke, so it's hard for me to give you a really great review on the motor and all that. But I came off of the 450, and this thing rips. I don't have a complaint about the power. I don't need more power than this bike has. It's rad. The main thing that's held me back from a 2-stroke in the past was the vibrations. Every time I'd get on somebody's 2-stroke, I was like, ugh, I can barely keep my feet on the pegs because of vibration. I don't get any vibrations with this bike. It's awesome. It's probably less vibration than a 4-stroke, which is crazy to say. I would say that the headlight is pretty good. It's good for travel. It's no Baja race light or anything like that, but for a stock light, I would say it's superior to most lights. It does shut off when the bike turns off, so the bike has to be running to have the light on. But yeah, this thing is rad. This bike is awesome. Another comment that I have is that my uncle rode this bike about a week ago. Well, actually about 2 weeks ago, right after I bought it, and He just went in and ordered a 300, so it must be pretty impressive, not just to me, but to other riders as well. Everyone that hops on it's pretty impressed with it. I did come off of the Yamaha. Suspension's a huge thing for me. Racing, I mean, suspension's pretty much what is going to make your day with a bike. And coming off the Yamaha, I preached that the Yamaha had the best suspension that I've rode. I was comparing it to Kawasaki's and to my older KTM's, and that Yamaha really had dialed forks and suspension, and it's super hard to beat. And I hopped on this and I said, wow, KTM and Husky really upped their game with this one. I would definitely put the forks, these spring forks, up against the Yamaha. I'm not sure how the air forks are, but these Xplore forks are rad. And if you're holding back because it's an enduro type bike, and you're back here in the West and racing Heron Hounds and stuff, this is a sweet fork, sweet suspension. The fuel range just seems pretty good. I actually have never burnt like more than half a tank, and I've probably put 40 miles, good 40-mile rides on it or so. Your time, your distance, you can reset your distance, and then has your actual running time. That's at 13 hours. It says I've went almost 300 miles. All in all, this is a sweet bike. I came off the 4-strokes and I'm falling in love with this 2-stroke. Husky, KTM have really stepped it up in 17 with these models, and I think this bike is definitely no-brainer. I mean, if you're on the fence about it, then pick one up. Pick up a 250, pick up a 300. I'm hoping to get my hands on one of the 300s and just see the difference in it, but I've heard nothing but good things about those as well.